else has told us is acceptable. You just started recording.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I had to see. That's Jamal's fault. That ain't my fault. But go ahead. You on something good right there, Brittany. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You there. Go ahead.
I think I did that for a long time. And I'm just kind of coming out of the shell. I know a lot of people say that, you kind of discover who you are at 30, but I think that's when, like, it clicks for you. Like, something clicks and it's like, wow, I've been under this person's identity of who they thought they wanted me to be for so long. And you just become braver somehow and willing to, I guess, do the work to discover who you truly are. So yeah.
Wow. I like she just said, because I wrote that down myself. It said, when did you define yourself? Mm-hmm. Or did you ever define yourself? It says to actually, instead of looking for all of this change, he says, raise your standards, right? Raising your standards. And that's so good when you say, like, have you identified yourself at the end of the day? What are your standards? What are your morals? What is your code of ethics and things of that nature? And that literally right there summed up this whole video. Anybody else? Kevin is next. Thank you so much, Brittany. That was on point. Kevin.
Can you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
For me, I've always learned how to be flexible, how to be adaptable, and how to be adjustable. And I can use the word change, but I always like to, find a word that can empower me. So I like to evolve. Mm-hmm. And, I also allow my daughter to evolve. I don't want to box her in because, that's not going to be good for her. So I'm watching her evolve. When I was in law enforcement, I tell people all the time, before I got into this industry of network marketing, I only knew 4 words, and that was, you are under arrest. That was it. That was my only, that was my conditioning. That's what I knew. And to evolve in this industry, it has really taught me how to reinvent myself. When people say, well, Kevin, what are you doing now? I said, well, I drive for Uber. You do Uber too? Mm-hmm. I said, look, I'll do anything not to take my ass back to work for anybody. Do you understand the words that's coming from my mouth? So I'm constantly reinventing myself. Mm-hmm. Because, see, Kim, I know work for me, this is just me personally, I can't work for nobody. I cannot be in a box. You cannot suppress my creativity. You can't, you won't, I won't allow it. And so, look, whatever it takes for me not to go back to work for somebody, I'm game. So I'm always evolving. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You and I both, we always, I'm calling you, I'm like, Kim, you need to learn how to do this Periscope. Kim, you need to get on Facebook Live. Mm-hmm, because see, the one thing about, I'm just going to be transparent. The one thing about our culture, the Black culture, we are so stuck in our ways that we don't want to evolve. We don't want to embrace what's coming out now. I heard somebody say, is it safe to drive for Uber? I said, well, is it safe to drive down the road? I mean, that's just how we so like, we so ignorant. We so ignorant to evolving. We are so ignorant to evolving. Mm-hmm. Like, last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to digress. I was talking to a lady, and I was telling about how you can now invest stock and don't cost you a dime. Kim, thank you. You taught me that. I did sign up for Robinhood. Mm-hmm. And I was telling her about, Mint.com, how it can keep up with your bank. She said, well, Kevin, that's kind of risky, ain't it? I said, well, you entrepreneur, do you not run a daycare? That's risky to be. I mean, I'm like, Wendy, come on now. Not my Wendy, but another lady who owns a childcare named Wendy. I'm like, this is why we stay behind the 8 ball. Mm-hmm. We don't want to evolve. We don't want to take risks. but yet we'll complain about our bills every single day. I don't have enough money. And to this morning, I saw this white guy, Kim, on the corner of where I dropped off a client. He said he had a sign says, "Have a great day." Do you know when the light turned red, people was giving him money?
Mm-hmm.
But we won't do that. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Okay, then you know what? Never trade your ego in for equity and stay broke. I'm done.
Wow. You in the right class today. That's all I'm going to tell you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm going to post that video back up on there so you guys can watch the entirety, because there's some more to it. But just the 4 things that Jim Rohn said in the beginning, I want you to pick up on that. And as well, I want you to find somebody that you want to mirror, right? I want you to mirror somebody. And on tomorrow, I want you to go, like today, go on YouTube, maybe go and buy the person's book, somebody that you really basically can actually get behind and just start studying these folks who have your results and see how far off or how far on you are. Mr. Mumford, I'm done for the day. I'm going to change my vehicle. Oh, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Well, okay. Well, you know, folks, this is real good. I had an email I was going to read that I was, something I got this morning. And it was kind of, and I was going to say this morning, it's kind of like a thought-provoking question.
Mm-hmm.
And I just throw it out there to you guys, not to answer it because the call is over. But here's a thought-provoking question that was sent to me. And it's been a huge debate among scholars, among scientists when it comes to human beings. And I'm thankful for Kevin for what he shared, because I'm glad he said it and I didn't, but he's definitely speaking my mind. We are the most resistant people to change. Because I know one thing about me, I know all cultures. I'm a very diverse cultural person. And I can say our culture, the minority culture, is the hardest culture that wants to change. My white friends, man, they do it all. My black friends, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing everything. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Everything. I'm not. But I go my friends. Trust me. They do it all. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's like, let's do it. And it's just something that we just have in us that it's like, why? Why can't we? And I've been in a white church, an all white church, and I've been in an all black church. And there was a huge difference when I go to my white churches, right? A huge difference in the black churches. I'm just saying. And so me and Kevin used to talk a lot back about this all the time. And that's exactly what's happening, in our culture. But here's what scientists were saying. Here's the big debate: is, are we genetically the way we are, and we're gonna leave this earth? Like, you can't change that. Like based on what your mom and dad was, based on your genes. Like, if your mom and dad was broke and poor or struggling, will you always be that way? Or can you alter that gene pool? And I had the email, and I wanted to read it because the way they broke it down, it was very great. But so I'm just kind of paraphrasing here. But here, that was the question, because some of us, how many of you actually may think to yourselves, and I know some of you have, you probably just gave up and said, listen, this is the way I'm going to probably be. I'm probably never going to be wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably never going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably never going to live in a nice house. I'm probably never going to have a really good job. I'm probably never going to really get to $500 a month in my project. That's probably never going to happen to me. And I know for myself, because you get to that point that you start, like you said, whatever your standards are. And so sometimes even with that is whatever you think your mind, whatever you think, like my mentor said, whatever you see as a lot of money is the most you're ever going to make. Right? So what does that do? Do we have a ceiling in our lives where we can't go above that? And that's the defining question. I see Avery shaking his head because, he answered that question. But that's a question you got to ask yourself. And you got to do your own research, because, and before you answer the question, don't answer it ignorantly. What I mean, don't answer without any substance to why you believe that. So don't just say to me, this is the way I am, because that's just the way it is. No, like Tony Robbins just said, at what point did you define yourself as that? I can look back at my life now and say, I now know where my financial blueprint came from. When I finally uncovered that, that's when my finances changed. When I finally understood why I was living paycheck to paycheck, making sad, I finally understood when I finally went back and said, oh no, I know exactly where I define myself. I define myself when I watch my mother come home every day with her welfare check. And she spent the whole. And once I defined that moment, that's when was able to change it. So I'm glad that he said that. So you got to define that moment. When did you now decide that I don't like flying? You know, or like I had a friend of mine, she flew for the first time yesterday. Her first time flying was yesterday. And I remember telling her, go do it. And her boyfriend was like, we was having a conversation. I said, you know, you got to fly. You got to go on vacation. You can't just stay in Georgia all your life, you know? Which is one of my white friends. So, you know, she's a little more risk taker. She said, I'll do it. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, we got, where do we define ourselves about this? And this has to be something we got to think about. Are you genetically where you are and will you be there the rest of your life? Or can you really alter your course of life? And that's why I asked you, raise the question, do you believe in fate? Do you believe in fate? F-A-T-E. Define that question. Because once you define that question, do you believe in fate? And be careful when you answer that question. Because the Bible is, as those of you who read the Bible, I'm going to mess your theology up real quick. Because what's properly preached is fate. And if you believe in that, that's why most Christians are stuck. Oh, I know y'all don't like me too much, but that's why most Christians are stuck, because unfortunately what's been preached is fate. But really what it's talking about in the word of God is not really fate as we understand it, but you take it and now you believe to yourself that everything you do in life, so where you are today, that's where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be wealthy. Because if I was supposed to be wealthy, Mr. Satchel, God surely would have sent $1,000 to my house today.
Come on. See?
But some of y'all I want you to answer that question to yourself, and I'm more than willing to have a nice conversation about that. Maybe we'll do a call at nighttime about that. You guys have a great day. I'm so excited about Insightful Friday tomorrow. I'm going to try to find that email, and I got to find that Jack Canfield video to show everybody. But maybe it's outdated because he's talking about focus. But you guys have a great day. And Mr. Satchel, I'm done. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Brittany, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Peace, love, and hair grease.
Go buy that car. Yeah, I've heard him spit that out.